That is a big game on BT Sport at Goodison Park at the weekend. But he said, what, unforgivable defending for the first goal, not good enough from his team. I mean, Leipzig at home a week ago feels about a year ago, doesn't it?
I think that's part of the problem that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has, right in front of him, is the level of inconsistency within games. You have games like PSG where you're like, right, he's finally fixed it. Leipzig, you think, right, he's going to get this going again here. And then you kind of get Arsenal performance, and then you get the performance tonight. And, Man United fans are just sat there a little bit confused now, and I think they're probably going to be feeling like getting a bit sick of it, to be honest with you. And, Manchester United is a club of, it's always been of consistent performances, winning things and so on. And I think the questions are going to come now as to whether Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is the man in the long term. Well,
we'll definitely come back to that because, of course, it is a talking point. But let's have a look at that first goal. It's ludicrous, isn't it?
I mean, as a professional footballer, this is something that you just don't see at our level ever, because a lot of these situations are covered. Yes, they play the ball short, but this is not a short amount of time. It's not like they've whipped it in, the keeper's got it, and it's some type of Edison amazing pass upfield. There's a large period of play here for somebody to have a look and go, hang on a minute, we've got a problem back here. Yeah. And nobody's done it. There's not one conversation. Them Babar must be stood there going, if I don't say anything, they're not going to see me. Exactly. Because it is ridiculous. Look at that. It stinks of just no leadership, no
There's
communication.
Mike Phelan saying, by the way, we don't do this.
He's probably come flying out of the dugout, Mike Phelan, thinking, we've got a problem here. How has nobody spotted it? So whether Tuanzebe at some point has thought, well, we've got a chance to whip it in here, which would have been wrong. Matic, you just should be looking around you naturally to kind of think, right, what's going on? And the one thing that you could probably turn to as a player, and go, Mike, I didn't hear you. You can't get that at the minute. There's no fans in the stadium.
No, true.
You can hear everything.
But Matic can't be the last man either, can he? Because he hasn't got the legs to be last man. So somebody's vacated the position
I would have thought
behind
so. You'd have thought Matic is the man in front. And obviously behind probably would have been Tuanzebe. But he's still got Henderson behind him. Yeah. He's still got Henderson could have been screaming at somebody to say, we've got a problem here, but lack of communication, and, it looks like a bit of a laughing stock, unfortunately.
Yeah. 2-0's not, well, it's not better. It's a bit ragtag as well, the way it is lost, the way they capitalise, and the space that they find at the far post is bad.
I think the way, the ball's been taken off Juan Mata there, he'll be disappointed with that. But the break from, Basaksahir was emphatic, it was quick, it was powerful. And, at this point here, Man United are not only, steering a bad performance in the face, they're steering what could potentially be another really bad result. But good strike, good finish. But Man United, they tried to come on strong a bit later on.
Well, they did, and nearly pinched something which would have been, I think, a little unmerited. Listen, as far as you mentioned, there'll be questions. United fans getting a bit sick of this backwards, forwards, pull me, push me stuff. What can they do in the short term? What can Ollie do? Let's perhaps not speculate on him, because that's a tired record and it's not our job. But our job is to think about what can he do at the weekend and beyond whilst he's in charge that can improve this team.
I always feel there's a pattern when managers are kind of getting desperate and on the edge of losing their job. And I think it's constant chopping and changing. Sometimes 3 at the back, sometimes 4 at the back, 3 in midfield, personnel change. For a man who's had 100 games at the helm of Manchester United, I would say it's time to be consistent with your team now. Right. Pick a team, stick with it, and run with it as long as you can, and see if you can get a performance out of them.
Yeah, of course, it's international break after Saturday. Yeah. You know what they're like. They are kind of managers' graveyards, aren't they? Again, I'm not speculating because I don't think that's fair, but we all know how football works, don't we?
Well, yeah, I mean, look, players go away, and another thing is the interviews start at international, international kind of getaways, and people always feel that freedom to say a little bit too much at times, so the headlines could easily follow. But on top of that, you're right. I think that little gap, if I was him, I wouldn't be feeling comfortable within that gap. We'll see.